We've got 10 more styles this week for you to try with your Midjourney images. Just add these to the end of your prompt separated by a comma to get some results just like this. Prompts are shown on the screen. And the first is Madhubani painting. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but essentially is a type of art that is created in India and Nepal. You can see the impact it's had here on Pikachu, bring him to life, giving him that nice border. We get some nice thick art style with the line work, and even Goku looks a little bit more sort of cartoony than usual. Well, Darth Vader, he has that really cool sort of patternized effect, and the way it's affected his whole sort of style of drawing is really quite unique, and it's given him some nice creepy eyes to go with it. Moving on to the samurai in front of Mount Fuji, the way it's done the 2D style of buildings and just the entire layout, very artistic, very cool. Futuristic car. I love the different elements in the sky and everything it's added to really bring this image to life. Batman looks a little bit more like a creepy monster from a horror movie, but still very fun and cool, while the Terminator looks a lot more friendly, and just the patternized style it's added is really unique and makes it a lot of fun. And hard-boiled detective noir, very old-fashioned style of black and white aesthetic, very high contrast. You move on to the woman's face, you can see that shadowy fit look, that little bit of fear and inquisitive sort of nature in her eyes, and just the overall image, very nice dark tone to it. Goku looks like he's out there solving some kind of crime or trying to find some kind of information about something. He's got that serious detective look on his face, while the modern family home looks like the scene of the crime that's about to be investigated. Lights are on, nobody's home. And obviously Darth Maul, he is all kitted up in a nice suit, nice detective hat, out solving some mysteries of his own out in the Star Wars universe. And Detective Pikachu looking dark, gloomy, but he's got a normal baseball cap on this time, but I guess the jacket gives him a nice sort of detective look. Darth Vader, he is, I don't know why he's got the gun there. He's actually got some eyeballs in his helmet, but he's out solving a crime, but looks like he's run into a bit more trouble than he expected. While the Terminator has a very nice detective look to him. Very calm, non-killer cyborg sort of feel, even though that red eye does kind of add a little bit of that element to it. And the Incredible Hulk has parts of the jacket, not the whole jacket, but he's out to solve some crime in a very angry fashion. Now, as a huge fan of H.R. Geiger, I watched the Alien movies recently and was inspired to work on some Xenomorph style prompts and found that this one got some really, really good results. As you can see here from Batman, he looks absolutely terrifying, and I don't think there's any crime in Gotham now that he looks like this. The Incredible Hulk, I mean, it looks kind of scary, but ultimately just looks kind of cool, like some kind of alien Marvel comic warrior out to sort of, take out the bad guys or the good guys, whereas Deadpool just looks absolutely frightening and not really that funny at all. And the samurai in front of Mount Fuji, he had a bit of a Xenomorph look to him in some of them, but I really like the fact that he was kind of checking out like this giant Loch Ness style Xenomorph monster about to go into battle, and Superman looks like he's really, truly from another planet. I don't think he has the hero status now that he used to have, thanks to his appearance. Pikachu looks incredibly creepy, and that's about all I will say about that. In the modern family home, I reckon if H.R. Geiger was alive today, or H.R. Giga, I don't know how it's pronounced, unfortunately, but I reckon this is possibly what his house could look like if he had an unlimited budget. And Goku, he just looks like a muscle-bound Xenomorph. Very cool alien effect. And if one of the aliens ever impregnates a car, I imagine once it bursts out of another older car, this is the car it's going to turn into after it becomes fully grown. And inspired by the tinfoil hat is turning into aluminium foil, which I didn't think would be as interesting as it actually turned out to be. It often will just wrap things in alfoil, much like the woman's face here, just leaving a little bit of space for the eyes, nose, and mouth. However, sometimes it kind of converts some things. Like you could say that Darth Vader's helmet is wrapped in alfoil here, but I choose to believe that he made his helmet out of alfoil this time around. Batman, he is protecting himself against some other kind of mind-reading enemy, so he is wrapped entirely in alfoil except for his face. And if you're an aluminum foil or aluminium foil enthusiast with a ton of money, this might be the car you choose to drive around in to show off your wealth. Or perhaps a house like this, wrapped in aluminium foil, so no intrusive thoughts can get into your house. Also, the Terminator, looking a little less indestructible when made out of aluminium foil, like you could just crush him with your fist. Kind of not really a good design of killing machine. Well, Goku, he has completely turned into an aluminium foil, kind of like Super Saiyan. Once again, not super threatening because he looks like a very crumply piece of foil. Also, don't forget, if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, I have recently released my complete Midjourney course. It gives you the steps from beginner all the way through to advanced Midjourney usage so you can create better images and upskill your creation in Midjourney. But moving on to superimposed reality, which can have an interesting effect that changes a little bit from image to image. So I recommend having a try to see what you can get. This image of Mario, I think, is very interesting, the way it adds in those bits and pieces. It sort of superimposes Mario into another image, or sometimes overlays one image onto another. With Pikachu here, it's a little bit different altogether, but it has had an impact. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how it worked with this image specifically. But with Darth Vader, you can see it's kind of overlaid another image over the top of him. So that way it's kind of superimposed an image over the top to create an almost double exposure style of photograph. And it's done the same again with the woman's face. Kind of like a double exposure type photograph, but a little bit different than what Midjourney normally generates for that phrase. So just a really interesting effect. And with Goku, again, another really interesting effect. Has a bit of a, you can see it kind of like has overlaid the same image, bit of a blur. I recommend having a play with this one as it gets some different results quite often. And now for a bit of fun, we have Vintage Soapbox Racer, which is a little bit different and just kind of a cool, fun style. As you can see here, we've got like a little wood carving of Goku, very old-fashioned style, little racing toy. I think it has an interesting sort of style with the way it sort of creates that figure. And the Statue of Liberty. I really think it's funny how the statue's holding up the torch like it normally would. There's a little bit of an optical illusion in the way it's sort of holding it. Incredible Hulk, again, it's like a carved wooden toy sitting in a racer ready to go, and he really wants to win. And the Terminator, I love the way it's kind of just got a normal skull and it's got like a rusty steel look to it instead of the wood. Nice little blend of the two different sort of subjects. And Darth Vader, that is the plainest racer I've ever seen, but still has that nice nifty effect to it. And Pikachu, same again, nice carved wood effect, old-fashioned sort of like 50s, 60s little kid built racer. A lot of fun. I thought this was just a cool little phrase to play with. And Kaizhi painting, which is a Chinese artist, pretty well known. You get a very particular type of sort of Chinese art style here, like with the Hulk, always like the little symbols. We've seen similar styles to this in the past, but this one's just a little bit more consistent within that style. As you see Darth Vader, I like the way it's actually put him in a circular frame in this image, which was cool. And the art style here for the futuristic car is really unique. The details and color it's added. So I really like the kind of like the brush style and the drawing style. And with Goku, same again, we've got a very particular drawing style and just a really nice image overall. And we often get that nice off-white background, a little bit of Chinese calligraphy and something off to the side, but a little bit more of a painting this time around. The woman's face. This was a very consistent style I got with the woman's face. I love this style of painting. Really nice. It's cool to see this more traditional look being created by Midjourney and the modern family home. It's like a painting of the home itself, and just the use of color, the use of style, just a really cool phrase to play with. But in a bit of a contrast, this time we have extreme goth fashion. I really love the impact this had on some of the characters. The Incredible Hulk, the eye makeup, the long hair, the little skull on his armband. I really love the way it's changed his overall look. And the modern family home, the colors and the gold and the bits of purple in there, you can see how it's really taken that style and applied it to the subject. And the Terminator, the jacket with the little bits and pieces on it, I just love the overall look. And the sunglasses, he looks just a little bit different than usual. But Batman, it's actually a woman by the looks of it. If you look at the face and the chin, a little bit more of a texture and like a little bit of a collar, sort of gothic collar style added to the top of the cape. And Goku, a little bit thinner, a little bit more effeminate looking, cool tattoos and very black outfit. The hair, pretty close to his actual hair. Darth Vader. Once again, Darth Vader is a woman in this one, kind of looking like a bride's outfit, but entirely black. Very cool, very gothic effect. And Pikachu looking very hardcore. The chains looks more like a punk that's about to basically rob you in the street or start riffing on a heavy metal chord on his guitar. Meanwhile, the car, if you were a goth, this is definitely the type of car you want to drive around in to let everyone know that you're serious about your fashionable choices. And the samurai standing in front of Mount Fuji, I love the impact with the hair it's added either side, the way it's really meaned up the armor and the mask. Really, really cool. Gear and Nuts Sculpture. This is an idea I got viewing a product on a website that was emailed to me by a viewer of this channel. And it had these little statues, kind of like this one of the car, except it was of bugs. And it was just a really, really cool thing. I decided to play with it in Midjourney to see what we can get. And the modern family home is actually a little bit different, but I just like the way it did a more unique style of image and subject with this particular prompt. Whereas Batman, he's got more the gears and nuts all throughout his arms and throughout his suit. Looks kind of like a little bit of a machine, but it's got that human head attached to him. Whereas Pikachu, very cool sort of gear and nuts sort of planted in throughout the sculpture. Very cool image overall. The Incredible Hulk, his gears and nuts are sort of more in the pants and around him. A little bit less of an impact, but still a groovy looking image. Goku, this one's a little bit more subtle, although the color really matches up, but that's just a cool looking sculpture overall of Goku. Now, the Terminator I knew would work well. Has more of a rusted feel to it. The way it's added the gears, it's kind of like a Gearpunk or like a steampunk version of the Terminator. And move on to the woman's face. It's replaced the hair with gears, nuts, and even like little bits of tubing. Once again, that rusty look, very strong. In the Samurai standing in front of Mount Fuji, the way it's added some of the gears in the background, and again, that sculpture, slightly rustic look, but not entirely rusty. Very nice. But that also inspired me for this one, Greasy Oil Machinery Collage. And this has a very definitive effect on your images. I mean, you can see here with Mickey Mouse, just the way it sort of creates a collage, it includes a subject, surrounds it with kind of greasy oil machinery, very rusty look. And Darth Maul, the way it's changed Darth Maul and made him like a bit more of an old school machine, as well as adding that collage, is a very nice effect. While the Terminator, a bit more full on, a bit more maximalism, a bit more all over the place, but you can see how it's really applied that rusty color over the top, as well as the elements, whereas the woman's face has a really nice collage appearance to it, the little strips and bits and pieces, while adding tiny bits of machinery here and there. It just creates an interesting image. And when you add it to the futuristic car, everything in the background here, this image looks incredible. I love what it's done with the background of this particular image. But with Batman, it's a little bit different. It's still much the same, but just the yellow drips and the style. It's really referenced his badge a bit more in this particular image. The Modern Family Home, a little bit more abstract. Once again, very cool. It's a very strong style, as you can see what it's done to this particular phrase of the Modern Family Home. And the samurai sitting in front of Mount Fuji. Looks like there's a big greasy factory in front of Mount Fuji, and the image itself looks old and covered in grease. Very nice look overall. But back to fashion for our bonus, which is As a Hipster. A really cool character style to play with. Darth Maul is not looking as hipster as I thought he would, but the sunglasses, the chain, the general outfit, it's a nice, unique take on that character, as he looks like he's gone a little more street than Sith. And Batman's got the scarf. He looks pretty harmless here, actually. I wouldn't be afraid of this guy at all. I think he'd be more likely to get mugged than to stop a mugger in this particular outfit. Whereas Goku, we got the beard, we got a little headband. He looks like he's a bit more of a hippie, living out in the commune, very peaceful, not really into battle as you would normally think he is. Whereas Megatron, a little bit different, just looks like a cool robot with a cool outfit. You don't necessarily always get an actual hipster look, but you do get something very street, very cool. However, we got the Incredible Hulk buff hipster style. That haircut and the beard looks absolutely majestic. The boxy sunglasses just sets it all off. Whereas Deadpool, he looks very peaceful. Just looks, he's still got the sword there, but just looks like he's relaxing, having a day out. Darth Vader, once again, dressed up, looking very nice and cozy, very non-intimidating. I think the evil characters tend to work best with this particular style. Well, Barbie just kind of looks like another version of Barbie, a little bit more homey, bit more standard, but still you can see how it's impacted that particular image. And Pikachu, looking very nice, very hipstery with the scarf and the jacket. Overall, you can see the impact it's had, so have a bit of fun with this phrase, and let me know what you think. But otherwise, those are the styles for today, guys. Now, don't forget, I've got my style pack and course if you want to check those out, and the links are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you found something here that you'll have some fun with. Otherwise, see you again next time. Have a great day.